Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to the 1999 Project. As we close out the month of August, both in real life and in the project, the month of August for this project has been bursting at the seams with gems large and small. But man, this month is ending with a whimper. Not exactly a whimper, but more like this snap, like this sound. Let me just get out of the way in saying that I don't exactly hate the movies I'm covering this week, but they were very hard work to get through. I only have two movies to cover this week, so let's just rip the Band-Aid off now. Starting off with the movie that gets the award for How on Earth Do You Screw This Up? It's The 13th Warrior.
The 13th Warrior.
The 13th Warrior was directed by John McTiernan. Yes, the John McTiernan you're thinking of. And it starred Antonio Banderas and is a sorta kinda loose-ish retelling of Beowulf? I'm not sure. I could not remember anything that happened in the movie, so I'm just gonna read the plot off of IMDb. A man having fallen in love with the wrong woman is sent by the Sultan himself on a diplomatic mission to a distant land as an ambassador. Stopping at a Viking village port to restock on supplies, he finds himself unwittingly embroiled in a quest to banish a mysterious threat in a distant Viking land. This is a difficult movie to talk about for me because I legit remember none of it, and I saw it like a couple days ago. It's kind of like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but I did not pay someone to wipe this movie from my memory. It just is a movie that honestly has all the tools to be great, but the movie just kind of exists and is just really boring. The main character is played by Antonio Banderas, who the year prior to this movie had starred in one of my personal favorite action movies of all time, The Mask of Zorro. This was the wrong movie to take on after starting off just doing coming off a movie as awesome as The Mask of Zorro. This feels like the anti-Mask of Zorro. It just Banderas is just kind of there, really. And is he supposed to be Arabic? He has an Arabic name, so like the entire time I was thinking, like, I'm sure this is offensive to somebody, but I'm pretty sure they got a Spaniard man to play an Arab man.
It just raises too many questions.
The movie is essentially just this main character, Antonio Banderas, and his fellow Vikings question mark, like just doing things. The plot is almost barely there. It feels like I'm legit having trouble just remembering exactly what happens here. And I'm not doing this to be sarcastic or a bit. I'm legit having trouble. I've seen the movie. I know I got it from my library. I stuck the DVD into my player and I watched it. But everything else after that is just like that whole hour, 40 minutes of my life is just missing. It's like off in the Phantom Zone somewhere. Thing is, it's not an exceptionally bad movie either. It's not even so bad it's good or even bad. It looks competent. I mean, it's John McTiernan, so of course. But you just look at it and you go, directed by John McTiernan, based off of a book written by Michael Crichton, the same Michael Crichton who wrote Jurassic Park, the book Jurassic Park, and starring Antonio Banderas. What's not clicking here? I don't understand. This movie is very forgettable, and I feel like I'll never watch or remember this movie ever again as long as I live. The one thing that is even remotely notable is that this movie turned out to be the biggest box office bomb of 1999. The movie had a budget of between $100 and $160 million. It only made $61 million at the box office, and the estimated loss is somewhere in the ballpark of $129 million.
Matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
But let's close out this week's episode by taking a look at a genuinely strange movie that you can just boil down to Rosemary's Baby, but with an alien instead of the devil. It's The Astronaut's Wife.
The Astronaut's Wife.
Everything I see, you see.
The Astronaut's Wife was directed by Rand Ravitch, and it starred Johnny Depp and Charlize Theron. And like I said, it is basically Rosemary's Baby in space. Johnny Depp plays an astronaut who, while on a routine spacewalk, it loses contact with NASA for about 2 minutes. But that 2 minutes is enough for something to happen, which nobody, not NASA, not even Depp himself, truly knows what happened. And as soon as he gets back on the ground, he and his wife, played by Charlize Theron, end up moving to New York City for him to take a desk job. And, well, as soon as a young couple moves to New York City, very weird things happening. People enter their lives just out of nowhere, and something bad happens at the end. The big compliment that I can give to this movie is that it looks actually really cool. It looks like Stanley Kubrick directed it. It feels like if he directed Rosemary's Baby, it would look something like this. And I did enjoy the look of the movie quite a bit. Depp and Theron are predictably good in their respective roles. Johnny Depp was in a weird place in his career where he had just done movies like Ed Wood and Dead Man and things like that. And he was still like waiting to be cast in like the thing that everybody knows him for, Pirates of the Caribbean. And Charlize Theron was only a few movies away from Monster and her career taking off. So we're seeing Johnny Depp and Charlize Theron very earlier in their careers, let's just say. And I think both did a very good job. But like I said in the intro, this movie is Rosemary's Baby, but you take out all the devil stuff and replace it with an alien. And I'm not going to go any further than that. But if you were to watch the movie about 15, 20 minutes in, the parallels become very clear. And I'm not suggesting that this movie is a ripoff or anything like that, but the similarities are very much there. If you even take a look at a side-by-side of Charlize Theron in this movie and Rosemary and Rosemary's Baby, they look the same, even down to the same short blonde haircut. So what was Rand Ravitch doing? Like it was a lawsuit waiting to happen. But instead of Rosemary's Baby being more psychological, like, oh, is this really all happening or is this something just we can explain? No, this movie goes into the weird and it stays there. And it kind of kills my enjoyment of the movie. Now, in terms of sci-fi or movies similar to this, like psychological thrillers, I can kind of go with them a little more. I can be a little more forgiving, even though the content can sometimes be very disturbing, because the movies tend to be grounded in some kind of a tangible reality. The astronaut's wife throws any tangible reality out the window, but also tries to keep it in late 90s New York City, and it makes no sense. I think this might be the only one of these that I've done in all 8 months of the 99 project, but this movie's getting an unrated for me because there are parts of this movie that I do genuinely like, but there's so much about the movie that is just not even bad, but just weird to where I just was sitting there like, I would love to be a fly on the wall for that creative meeting. As not to all of you, what did you think of the movies I've talked about? Let me know in the comments. I would love to read what you have to say. My name is Ryan Cam, and I will see you all in the next one.